Story time, man. What's good, y'all, man? Look, so I got another story for y'all, man. This one is about my grandpa. Rest in peace, my grandpa. I just went to go see him. Went to go see the fam, and went to go see the funeral last Saturday. And man, I just wanted to come and share something real quick. I want to say this. I'm not finna, most people around the time when somebody died, they always tell you, make sure you spend time with your loved ones because you never know when they're going to leave. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the beauty of what a death and resurrection can be like. You know what I'm saying? When I went to Louisiana, you know what I'm saying, we left. First off, let me just give y'all, boy, that was a rough ride, boy. It was an 8-hour drive from Birmingham to Louisiana, and we had the kids. So my oldest is 4, my youngest is 11 months, and it was like it was rough. It was a rough drive, bro. The kids was somewhat decent, but it was just a long drive because I had my dog, so every time we got out, we had to stop, let the dog out. The first drive going to Louisiana, boy, I was driving like I drove almost 8 hours straight. Like we just I think we took like one stop and then the rest of it we were just gone. But get to Louisiana finally. I go stay at my uncle's house because we couldn't get into the B&B until like 3. So man, we sitting there and I'm just listening to my uncle. My uncle was the one that kind of told us the story. He kind of explained to us kind of like what had happened and how my grandpa passed away because he was there. He was there when it happened, and all of that, right? We obviously my auntie, my uncles, they kind of had their own ideas on it, but there's something beautiful about, I believe, what this death and resurrection did for us. It got a chance to allow us to see how much life we had left to give. Like, to see my uncles and my aunties and my mom connect the way they did, like the way that it's like growth. You know how when it is when you ain't seen somebody in a little minute, and if y'all both are growing at the same time, when y'all gonna come back together, it's gonna be so beautiful. That's what it was like. It was like remembering the times, how everything was decades ago versus how it is now. It was just like pure love, man. And it wasn't just because grandpa died and different things like that. No, it was just pure love, man. And to see the change in my uncle, to see the change in my auntie, to see my change in both my uncles, and to see the change in my mom, like just how far we had came, it was like, man, bruh. And so I don't want to talk to y'all. I'm not here to try to tell you, man, you never know how much time you got. Yes, everybody knows that. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the level of what happens when you forgive those around you. What happens when you learn to release the resentments and to make amends with those around you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're able to make amends, when you're able to forgive, when you're able to love again, love those around you again, and when everybody on the same page, it's something beautiful about that. And so I don't know if we would have had the same, like we had a great time. Like just the whole 3 days, we was out here, we was out there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. So we was out there for 3 days, man. And just the love that was there. It was just beautiful. And I just really wanted to share with y'all, like, that's the part. It's important to forgive those around you, because it's not about you never know when life can be, but forgiving those around you, you don't know how much life you missing out on because you had a resentment or you got anger holding towards somebody. And if we learn to, and I don't say forgive them just because you forgive for yourself, but forgive them because why wouldn't you want to do anything else? You know what I'm saying? Like when you forgive somebody, it's not about them. It's about you, so that you can sleep at night, so that you can breathe at night, so that you can enjoy your life. Because you never know what that other person has been through. You don't know. They probably made their amends. They probably have forgiven you. They probably have. Maybe they didn't forgive you. Maybe they still holding on to all those things. But when you forgive and you release a resentment and you make amends with those around you, it's not for them. So many of us, I think, and I know it was for me for a period of time, I thought that the forgiveness was for them. No, it's for you. You forgive so that you can be better. And hopefully the other party will be willing to say, you know what, I ask for your forgiveness, or release the resentment, or make amends. Maybe you guys are able to make amends with each other. Maybe that'll happen, maybe it won't. But I got this Bible, man. And I know I don't always talk about spiritual things but I had got my grandpa's Bible, and just the stuff that he had been journaling in there. He talked about a lot of pain that he carried as a man. And he talked about how sometimes he felt like he wasn't doing enough. Sometimes he felt worthless as a man, or different things. And you know what that told me? That I wasn't alone. There was another man that, he's no longer here with us, but the weight and the pain that he carried throughout his years of his life, I lost my auntie before I was even born. My mom talks about it all the time, how my grandma passed away. She was like 30 something. She had a really bad disease, and it just kind of took over her body. So I come to share with y'all, man, forgive those around you. And I know it's going to be hard. I know you're not going to want to forgive the one, like I had to forgive those that had molested me as a kid, because I was real big on not letting nobody in, because I had, every time I opened up my heart to somebody, they always used my kindness as a weakness. I took my kindness for granted and used it against me. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to heal. I had to heal from wounds of forgiving my dad for not really being there for me. And if I never would have forgiven my dad for not being there for me, I would have never understood his story. See what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling you, the forgiveness is not for the other person. The forgiveness is for you, because you don't know what it is that the other person had to go through in order to get to where they are today, or where they were. And I'm so grateful that I was able to be there this weekend and to spend time with my family, because I actually didn't even want to leave. Like, we was having such a great time that I was like, man, I don't even want to leave y'all. But that's the beauty of life, man. When we can learn to love, learn to forgive, it don't mean you're going to like everything. We as a family, you ain't going to always like everything that somebody does. But if you learn to forgive, if you learn to make amends, if you learn to let go of resentments, bruh, just imagine how much more life you could have. Imagine how much more freedom you could have. I'm not saying, please hear me when I say this, I'm not saying that you're going to make more money if you forgive somebody. That may happen, but that's not the end goal. So many people, especially the gurus, I hate to say this, but so many of the gurus, the coaches, the this, the that, and the third, so many of them preach that if you forgive somebody, you'll make more money. That if you make amends with somebody, you're going to make more money. That if you heal, you'll make more money. That's not true. That may happen. you're right. You may heal from some wounds that may allow you to see life from a different perspective, but that doesn't mean you're going to make more money. That also doesn't mean that you're going to have a better life just because you do that. Your life may still be hard. For some people, it may get easier. But we don't make amends with people just so we can get a different outcome. You make amends with people because why wouldn't you want to do anything else? When you understand love, when you understand life, when you understand the freedom, the level of freedom you can have, when you forgive, when you release resentments, you don't have to spend the rest of your life being in pain about the same things over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? But too many people preach, if you heal, if you stop lying, if you stop doing this, if you stop doing that, your life will get better. It will not. That does not mean just because you stop lying, just because you stop holding on to things, just because you stop doing stuff, you change your habits and you get better. It doesn't mean your life is going to be easier. There's a possibility that it could get easier. For some people, it does get easier. For some people, when they stop lying and different things, I know for me, when I finally took my life serious and I started to get things better, there were certain things that happened in my life that got better. Like I felt better about myself because I was no longer hiding things. But that didn't mean that my life got better. That don't mean that I got millions and millions in the bank account. That don't mean that I got 6 figures making in my bank account. That doesn't, and it does, just because I don't have 6 figures or 7 figures doesn't make me a bad person. And it doesn't give me the right to tell others how they should live their life. You see what I'm saying? But what I am telling you is when you do forgive, when you do make amends, and when you do learn to love those around you, you don't have to like them and you don't have to rebuild a relationship with them. It just means that you no longer hold on to the same wounds that once hurt you before. You know what I'm saying? If it makes your life better, then all glory, bruh. Man, beautiful. Big ups. But if it doesn't make your life better, that doesn't mean that you missed the mark. So that's what I come to share with you, man. I hope, especially that last part, I hope y'all got something out of this story time. Rest in peace to my grandpa, man. He lived a great life. He lived from 1940 to 2025, man. That was a long life, y'all. That means that he experienced all walks of life. Slavery. He's seen, all kind of stuff, man. There's so many things that I could go. But you know what the most beautiful thing was? Is I think he would be proud of is the camaraderie that we had as a family. It wasn't like, oh man, we need to get, nobody was on them. Ain't nobody was like, man, we need to stop doing what we're doing so we can get our life together. No, it was love. It was love, 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 man. Love, 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 bro. And that's all that it was. It was pure love. My grandpa called it liquid love. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got for y'all, man. I hope that y'all have a great rest of y'all day. And remember this, stars can't shine without darkness. Rest in peace to my grandpa. I'm out of here, man.